Laurent, well, firstly, congratulations on the new job. Team principal of Red Bull. How does it feel?
What to say? The first thing you feel is that you feel honored, you feel privileged. It's an amazing team. The team has achieved so much in the last 20 years with Christians, and then when you start to meet the people, and you start to see the incredible amount of talents you have there, all the incredible spirit and desire to win that you have there. So you just want to meet the people. That's how it feels. You want to meet the people, you want to discover the magic and try to see how eventually you can support.
Walk me back through how it all came about. Was it a phone call where you called into a meeting, and how did that all go down?
Well, obviously it came out of the blue, as for you guys. So mine was probably quite similar to you. I received a call a few hours before everyone was made aware. It was from Oliver and Helmut, and of course it took me by surprise. Initially, I asked them a few hours to think about it, and then you quickly realize that you say, you then try to digest, and then you say, well, wait a second, it's Red Bull calling you to step in that role. How can it be anything else than an honor and a privilege? So that's so you get that Red Bull energy feeling there, and that's how it happened. Obviously, I called them back, and and the rest is history.
I mean, to that point, the adrenaline must have been incredible. You probably didn't sleep very much that night, did you?
The sleep part. We are used not to sleep much anyway in this business now. So the sleep part is actually okay. I think the biggest element was then. How do you get into it, and to get into it, the first thing that pop into your mind is again, you need to meet the people. And that was really what, if you ask me, what was in my mind, what was probably keeping you away from too much sleep, is really that, is how do you now use the time to meet these incredible people, to meet the teams, to start to get to know each other, to start to interact, to understand the strengths, to understand the dynamics, to understand all of that. And of course, it's been only 2 weeks, and you are nowhere near where you want to be. But it's a complete different feeling once you start that process and you get to know more people every day. So it makes it quite an incredible journey.
I mean, how has that process been, meeting all of those new faces, trying to kind of assimilate yourself in it's only been a few weeks now, not even that?
Well, it's every day is a discovery of some of the talents there. Every day is a discovery of how the team is working. The common element is that every angle you find, every door you push, you find that incredible racing spirit. Like the guys and the girls are here to win. You really get that feeling where you feel these guys are the best in the world at what they do, and they have this incredible fighting spirit, and so every day you get lucky enough to meet some of them and to start to interact a bit more, and that's how it has been the last 2 weeks.
I imagine it's helped that you've been part of the Red Bull family for a little bit, obviously through your time at Racing Bulls. It must have helped that you've kind of got to know how the Red Bull family works in some ways. That has helped the transition.
Yeah, of course. It's a key element. Not only the time at Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, but also the 10 years prior in the Red Bull family and in the Toro Rosso time. It helps a lot, to feel at home in a Red Bull team, if you see what I mean. So that has been a massive help. Everybody has been incredibly supportive. Past the first 24 hours of adjustment to the news. Everyone you get to know have been, so supportive in trying to open the door, in trying to show what they were doing, in trying to show how they were doing it, and that's that level of openness, that level again of getting the car to go faster on the track. That's really what is a common point that you find everywhere.
How tough was it to say goodbye to your Racing Bulls family?
On one side, it's very difficult because the adventure was incredible there. We were on an incredible trajectory. with everyone, and we had done together so many changes in the last year and a half that it really feels like things we are going to accelerate and come even better. So on that side, of course, you feel a bit strange to leave the boat, but on the other side, the team is in perfect hand. Alan is just the best possible guy to take the team principal role there. He knows the team upside down. He symbolized very well the spirit we have been trying to build with everyone over there, and to have him leading it, teaming up with Peter, with all the team around him. The trajectory is going to continue. The team is going to move up the grid, and to do that with the spirit we all love. So, and then on the other side, you don't really want to think about that as a separations, because fundamentally we are still both working for Red Bull. Both teams are working for Red Bull. It's the same family, and we are going to continue to see each other.
Does it feel like a bit of a whirlwind these last few years? Because you've literally gone from Ferrari to the first TP role at Racing Bull to now team principal at Red Bull. That is quite an incredible trajectory, isn't it?
You only remember the people, and in the end you don't look back at it thinking whatever role you had in different teams or companies. You look back and think, oh yes, that's the time where I could learn with A, B, and C, and that's the times where we had this incredible group with these people, and that's how that's the richness of our sport. Is the incredible level of the people, and when you are lucky enough to be exposed to to different culture, to different approach, but always with this incredible high level of talent. It is, it's only a privilege, and that's how you look back into it much more than a career trajectory.
So what have the board kind of said to you in terms of like the target and the future? Because obviously the team's going through a little bit of a difficult period in terms of performance and competitiveness. What have they kind of told you kind of need to shoot for?
There is only one desire at Red Bull, and it goes from the board to anybody at Red Bull F1. Is they are here to fight for the wins, to fight for the championships. So that's what naturally the target is. It is not a new target. Yeah. It is not a renewed commitment from. It is just a renewed commitment from the team and from the group to say, it's a team we want to fight for the championship with, and we'll do everything we need to do to continue doing so in the future.
So how do you do that? How do you kind of get to that point of winning again from where the team are at the minute?
The truth is the first part, as we said, is get to know the people. Yeah. Understand the strengths, understand the weakness, understand the dynamics. Then eventually find ways to contribute, find ways to support, make sure they work in the best possible conditions, make sure they can express their talent at the very best, because again, you are talking about the guys and the girls that have broken every possible record or nearly so in the last 20 years. So we have the best people there, and it's about how do we together build another competitive edge against competitions. Competition is growing. There is, as we said, there is this fire everywhere to try to think to the next step, and I think as a group we will just try to be as sharp as we can in building these next steps to the table. It's about making sure our people are in the right environment with the right tools to have their talents doing the magic.
Is there an understanding that might take time? Obviously, you've got a new engine project coming online next year. There's new rules, and there's been a bit of change here. It's not the work of a moment, is it, to kind of get everything working in an efficient way?
I think Red Bull has been in the sport for so long. They know exactly how the sport is working, and they know what you can expect short term, what you can expect medium term, what you can expect long term. We have these unbelievable challenge ahead with powertrain that will mix together with 2026 regulation challenge. So you don't need to explain these sort of things to the management. They are completely conscious of those dynamics. You have the fire at every level of the company in terms of how aggressively and the level of aggressions you want to put in every single level of the company to give that fight for the wins and for the championships a big try.
Have you had much chance to chat to Max? And well, obviously you know Yuki very well since you've kind of taken over the reins of the team.
You know, it's never enough. It's never enough because only 2 weeks have passed. But you know, we had obviously good conversations with both Max and Yuki. It's only the very beginning. So I'm really looking forward to the next weeks and months where we can interact more and more with them as with every other members of the team. But they have been incredibly supportive as much as I said, as the team have been. So it feels good to be back at the racetrack because obviously you will then have a chance to get exposed to that side of things and to see the actions getting back to the center of the story.
Now, obviously, it won't have escaped your attention that there's been a lot of chatter about Max's future. Is that one thing that you probably need to delve into a little bit more just to ensure that that kind of story can be put to bed?
You know, the truth is Red Bull is hugely committed to Max. And the way we can be hugely committed to Max is by giving him the best possible car. And giving him the best possible car is what every single person in the company wants more than anything else. So that's where the effort is made really, and the rest will be a consequence. But of course, Max is central to the project. We need his magic at the racetrack, and he has been with the team for a very long time, and he has a huge inputs in helping us driving the next competitive edge that we will need to build.
So you're hopeful then that you can hopefully give him the car that he would like, and to Yuki as well, to hopefully make him stay?
You know, I think the team has everything to do that. It has the spirit, and more importantly, it has the talents. So in short, yeah, I think we have everything to be able to give that to our drivers.
And on Yuki, you know what he's capable of. You saw the talent that he delivered at Racing Bulls. Do you hopeful that, I'm not saying your presence individually will help, but you're hopeful that you'll be able to kind of get the best out of him? Because it feels like he's been improving. It's just obviously hasn't gone his way, has it, since he's joined Red Bull?
You know, we had these conversations many times. Now, Yuki is a fast guy. There is no doubt, and speed doesn't disappear. Circumstances have been difficult. I know the team is very strongly behind him, trying to unlock what can be unlocked and trying to connect the dot where dots needs to be connected. So he has a very, very good interaction with the team. I'm confident that he will be able to show his true value in the near future.
Perfect. And just finally, let's bring it back to this weekend here at Spa, your first race weekend as team boss at Red Bull. Difficult weekend last time out at Silverstone. What do you think is feasible here?
You know, Spa historically has been a track where Red Bull has been performing very well. Obviously, we have a big question mark this year with the weather playing tricks with us up and down. But you know, it's a sprint weekend. It's all going to go very, very fast. I think the team has been, for the little I've been able to see in the last 2 weeks. The team have been very, very solid in the way they have been preparing for this weekend, and let's hit the track. Nobody is here to try to promise A, B, or C. We'll try to get our homework done. Try to see if the parts we are here are performing as the guys are hoping they will. And get the puzzle together, and I think that's if we're able to get these answers and to navigate between the drops, then we should have a good weekend.